Hey guys, it's Slayer here with Bombay Vaping. We're here today to do a dual coil bomb tank teardown and show you how it comes apart, show you how to put it back together, show you how to change out the punch carto, all that good stuff. So if I'm going to do something like this, I like to make sure I have paper towels on hand because it could get a little messy if you're not careful. So that's number one. Alright. And here we go. First things first, you take off your drip tip, set that aside, and then you'll go ahead and pull off your top cap. Set that aside. After you pull your top cap off, then you gotta take the top grommet out of place. I usually get my thumbnail, fingernail, get it popped up and started. Just pull the sucker all the way out. You know, as you can see, I have a bunch of fluid in this because it is it's what I was vaping on when my carto burnt out. So this is what you would have to do if you were placing it and you had fluid in it. Unfortunately, you're going to have to lose the liquid or put it into a different bottle so you don't lose the liquid. So I just got my bottle here, dumping all the old stuff out. Got it empty, go ahead and put your bottle off to the side. You're not going to need that for a while. I'll grab a paper towel, wipe off any excess drippage so I'm not making a huge mess. And then what I'll do is I'll usually leave the tank on the device so if you can get a little bit of leverage on it, it helps pull the carto and the bottom grommet out. Then I'll just kind of work it back and forth. Get it to slide. Once you get down towards the bottom, so your car's almost all the way sticking out, you can usually kick it at an angle, and that helps you pop the grommet out. Then normally, you can rinse the tank out, or you can, I usually just wipe it out, because I'm normally vaping the same flavor anyway, if I'm using the tank. So I'll just run a paper towel through it, maybe a couple times, wad it up nice and small. Get the old stuff out, you got pretty much a clean tank. Then you take your bottom grommet, you throw away your old carto. Don't need that anymore. Then you'll take your new pre-punched carto. You can see it's already got holes popped in it. Get rid of the rubber cap. You take your bottom grommet and put it onto the carto, leaving it pretty close to, I don't know, maybe a 1/16, an 1/8 of an inch up from the bottom of the threads. Then I'll pull my top rubber off of the carto, toss that, get it situated, and you take your carto, shove it back in the bomb tank. Now the first time or two around it's a little tough, but as your tank breaks in, the grommets practically pop right in. I've had this tank for a little bit, so it's pretty simple. After you get your grommet carto back inside your tank, you'll be ready to fill it. I mean, that's all it really takes. It's not too tough. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the grommet with the O-ring goes on the bottom. Your tank's halfway back assembled. At this point, I'll normally throw it back on the device just to help give me a little bit of leverage, a little bit of control over it. Makes life a little bit easier. And then I'll fill. Now when I fill the dual coil bomb tank, I will fill it pretty darn close to the top, maybe 3/16, 1/8 inch down below the top, which will give you plenty of space to get your grommet back on, which really pretty simple. You'll see the carto is exposed above the poly tubing. That makes it easier for you to get the grommet on the carto, and then you just push it down so it goes in halfway. When I say halfway, you'll see there's a notch on the grommet. That acts as pretty much your guide for the top grommet. So you'll see that top grommet is now put in place halfway. Half of it's sticking above the poly tubing, the other half is inside of the poly tubing. After that, you can go ahead, put your top cap back on. Which on some is tighter, some is looser. Check for leaks. Obviously it's not leaking because there's nothing dripping. I always do this after I fill it just to be sure that I'm good. And of course you gotta fill your carto. Now these dual coils, everybody knows, they take like 40 drops or something to fill, so this is gonna take a little bit. While I'm doing this, I'm just gonna go ahead and pause the video. Alright, now you have your tank filled, your carto filled. Go ahead and close your bottle up, get your drip tip, and you're ready to rock and roll. Of course it takes a few seconds for the carto to break in, but I mean that's it, guys. It's not too tough. Pretty simple, so great. This is Slayer, Bombay Vaping.